Started in St. Louis after staying with my family for a while. I took the train from the station here in Alton. Here's our lovely Amtrak. And on my way on up to Chicago. And before you know it, was a quick, easy trip, and I arrived.
Okay, sports fans. Well, I just made it to Chicago on the train. I'm just outside of Union Station, so now I'm going to figure out how to get to the Secretary of State and get my Illinois documents apostilled. I'm not sure if that's a word or not, but that's what I've been using. And yeah, and then it's an Uber to the hotel from there. And yeah, so far so good. Everything's been great. All right, peace out. God, why did I say that? That's so fucking dumb. Anyway, be well.
Nothing much happened in Chicago, and I soon found myself on Turkish Air in the business class, something I never thought I'd experience. Alright guys, so I am on the business class with Turkish Air. It is got a little bit of a reputation for being very nice, lots of perks and that sort of thing. So far, definitely enjoying the better seat. The food situation is quite incredible compared to economy. Needless to say, had some of the oldest bread in the world, which of course was delicious. A little bit of some fantastic olive oil, and yeah, I think I took some pictures of the goodie bag and things like that as well that they give you with the little eye mask and stuff like that, a little bit of lotion. Nothing really fancy or special there, but yeah, it's definitely a step up from the last time I flew across the ocean. So I'll show more later. I think a lot of the pictures I took I accidentally erased. So oopsie doodle. Soon enough, I had landed in the Istanbul airport and taken a couple of not very great photos. My skills as a photographer.
Sleep deprived in Istanbul. Yeah, didn't sleep as well as I might have hoped on the, fold out flat seats in the business class on Turkish Air. Not nearly as comfortable as I had hoped, and for someone my size, still very, very cramped. So far, it's been very much underwhelming, I gotta say. Probably would not ever do Turkish Air business class ever again. Just not worth the money. Barely a half step above the economy experience so far. Yeah, the guy who checked me in Chicago was terrible, unfortunately. Led me astray. I asked about my CPAP battery, which, I had been in contact with the airline. I had explained to them that I was going to be using my CPAP on the plane, and I had followed up because I'd found out that the battery had to have approval by the airline because it's bigger than like a regular power bank. So, I'm following all the, procedures you're supposed to do. I got an email back from their support saying, oh, no big deal. Okay, great. And then I mentioned it to him and he's like, oh, you can't use the CPAP on the plane. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, you have to have a doctor's note. What? I've never heard of this. That's never been the case on any other flight. And so I start freaking out, trying to get a hold of my doctor. Luckily, she emailed them, but it was totally for naught. They didn't say a damn thing. Security didn't say anything about the battery. Nobody said anything about the CPAP on the plane. There was at least one other person that I saw also using a CPAP. Like, this guy at the counter was just all around not a very cool guy. Also didn't put that I am qualified for the pre or clear or whatever. So I always have like the shorter lines, which is good because, I still not in the greatest of health, but I've been really working hard not to use wheelchairs and to just, try to take my time the best I can, which made it really, really difficult when I got over to security and they're like, oh, it's not on your boarding pass. I'm like, what? Okay. And I looked at whether it was worth the energy to try to walk back there and get that fixed or to just go straight through the regular security. So obviously I did the worst of both worlds. I walked halfway back, then realized it was going to be way too far, then went back to the regular security. And, of course, by then it was even longer. So, that was barely made it through that. And then just barely dragged my stuff to the gate. I honestly felt like I was going to drop a couple of times. But I made it there. And same thing getting on the plane. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can make it down this ramp. But I did, got settled in, and flight went okay. It's all good now, but it was not, super optimal, unfortunately, but I guess that's travel. It's just, that's the way it goes. So, I'm just babbling because I'm fucking sleep deprived. So I guess I will go try to find a lounge or some food or some shit, because I'm here for another 9 hours. I don't know why they wouldn't give me the tour I'm supposed to get, so that's another point against Turkish Air. They, dangle all this like nice stuff in front of you, but then it's not actually accessible or deliverable, and every single person tells you like a completely different thing. I get to the gate and I'm about to get on and they're like, have you scanned your passport? And I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Nobody told me that needed to be done. Oh yeah, you gotta do. So, I had been in line this whole time, had to go get pulled aside, had to go do that. It's like, it'd be nice if somebody like told you some of these things, like the CPAP thing, or, but oh well, it all worked out and I'm here. So, here for far too long, unfortunately, but hopefully I can get some rest and I'll be in a little bit better shape. All right. Be well, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right. Well, after walking far, far, far longer than I should have, and being told then I could no longer keep the cart that I desperately needed to be able to move my backpack through the airport when I got to the lounge, which is bizarre to me, but is consistent with the theme so far, which is that everything Turkish Airlines says that it offers, it doesn't seem to really offer, or if it does, it makes it an extreme pain in the ass to try to access. The latest one is you have access to a suite if you're here between 2 hours and 9 hours, which I desperately need some freaking sleep at this point. But because I'm here for 11 hours, I'm not eligible. So I'm not quite sure how that makes sense. So, you need the services more, which means you don't have access to them, but it's kind of been the theme. So yeah, definitely do not recommend Turkish Airlines business class. It is much more hype than reality.